I was 16 when I first climbed the 1,000 steps to the mountain temple. My legs trembled, not from exertion, but from fear. What would I find? Who would I become? The mist parted as I reached the gate, revealing not the grand entrance I had imagined, but a simple wooden door, weathered by centuries of rain and sun. This is how Zen begins, not with illumination, but with a door, not with answers, but with an invitation. You seek Zen because something in your life feels incomplete. Perhaps you call it stress, anxiety, or emptiness. The ancient masters had no such words. They simply recognized that humans live divided lives, mind separated from body, self separated from world. This division is the true source of your suffering. When I entered the temple that day, Master Takeda sat in perfect stillness. I stood before him, expecting wisdom, waiting for teaching. For 3 hours, he remained silent. My mind raced, then raged, then finally, exhausted, grew quiet. Only then did he speak. You have taken your first step on the path. This is the first teaching. Zen begins when thinking ends. Your mind creates a constant stream of thoughts, judgments, memories, plans, fears. You believe these thoughts are reality. They are not. They are clouds passing through the sky of your consciousness. The sky itself, vast, boundless awareness. This is your true nature. Most meditation teachings tell you to focus on your breath. This is useful but incomplete. True Zen goes deeper. Watch not just the breath, but the one who breathes. Who is this observer? When you look carefully, the boundary between observer and observed dissolves. In the temple garden, Master Takeda pointed to a stone lantern half covered in moss. "What do you see?" he asked. "A lantern," I replied. He struck me with his stick, not in anger, but to wake me from my conceptual thinking. "Look again," he said. "Don't name it, just see." I looked until my naming mind grew tired. Suddenly, the lantern was no longer a lantern. It was simply form, texture, light, and shadow. In that moment, I experienced direct perception, seeing without the filter of concepts. This is the second teaching. Reality exists beyond your labels. Your suffering comes from your attachments to concepts, success and failure, good and bad, self and other. These are not realities, but mental constructions. When you drop these labels, you experience the world directly, and in this direct experience lies freedom. During my 3rd year at the temple, I struggled with physical pain during long meditations. My knees burned. My back ached. One day, in desperation, I asked Master Takeda how to overcome this suffering. "Don't overcome it," he said. "Enter it completely." This made no sense to me then. Enter pain, but slowly, I understood. By resisting pain, I created a second layer of suffering, my mental rejection of what already existed. When I stopped fighting and simply experienced the sensations directly, something remarkable happened. The pain remained, but the suffering dissolved. This is the 3rd teaching. Freedom is not found by escaping difficulty, but by moving through it. Your instinct when facing discomfort, physical or emotional, is to escape. This creates a habit of avoidance that weakens you. The Zen approach is counterintuitive. Turn toward discomfort with full awareness. Don't analyze it. Don't judge it. Simply experience it completely. In this complete experience, you discover that you are not your pain. You are the vast awareness in which pain appears and disappears. Few understand that Zen is not just meditation. It is a way of living with complete attention. When eating, just eat. When walking, just walk. When working, just work. Master Takeda demonstrated this one morning while preparing tea. His movements were neither hurried nor slow. Each action complete in itself. Heating the water, warming the pot, measuring the leaves. His mind was nowhere else but in the activity itself. "Where does peace come from?" I asked him. He continued preparing tea, then handed me a cup. "Drink," he said. As I drank, the warmth spread through my body. In that moment, there was nothing but the experience of tea. No past, no future, no separate self. Just this. "There," he said. "Peace is not something you find. It is what remains when you stop looking elsewhere. This is the fourth teaching. The present moment is the only doorway to peace. Your mind constantly pulls you into thoughts about past and future. This time traveling creates anxiety. Zen practice anchors you in the now, the only moment that ever truly exists. This is not a philosophical idea, but a direct experience available to you in every moment. After 5 years of training, I believed I understood Zen. I had experienced moments of profound insight. My meditation was stable. My mind, once chaotic, had grown more peaceful. Master Takeda recognized my pride. During walking meditation in the garden, he asked, "What have you learned in these 5 years?" Eager to demonstrate my understanding, I replied, "I have learned that the self is an illusion, that reality exists beyond concepts, that peace is found in the present moment." He stopped walking and pointed to a maple leaf floating in the pond. "All your understanding is just another attachment," he said. True Zen is not about accumulating special knowledge. It is about returning to original mind, the mind you had before you learned anything. This humbled me deeply. I realized that I had been collecting insights like treasures, creating a spiritual identity that was just another form of ego. This is the fifth teaching. True wisdom is not what you gain, but what you unlearn. Your spiritual journey is not about becoming someone special. It is about unlearning the habits of mind that separate you from your already perfect nature. The leaf doesn't try to be a leaf. The mountain doesn't strive to be a mountain. They simply are. Your original nature is like this, complete, lacking nothing. In my 10th year, a wealthy businessman visited our temple. He complained of insomnia, anxiety, and dissatisfaction despite his success. "I've achieved everything I wanted," he said, "yet I feel empty." "Can Zen help me?" Master Takeda asked. "What do you want from Zen?" "Peace of mind," the man replied. "Show me this mind that you want to pacify," Master Takeda said. The businessman fell silent, confused. "If you cannot find your mind," Master Takeda continued, "how can you pacify it?" This encounter revealed a profound truth. The mind that seeks peace is itself the source of disturbance. When you stop seeking, you discover that what you are looking for is what is looking. This is the sixth teaching. You are not the seeker, you are what is sought. Your search for fulfillment keeps you trapped in a cycle of seeking and temporary satisfaction. Zen cuts through this cycle by questioning its fundamental premise that something is missing. When you stop seeking completion, you discover you were never incomplete. Master Takeda was renowned for his calligraphy. One day, as I watched him write the character for mind, I noticed something strange. Before his brush touched the paper, he sat in complete stillness. Then, in one fluid motion, he created the character, perfect, alive, vibrating with energy. "How do you achieve such perfection?" I asked. "I do not achieve it," he replied. "I get out of its way." He explained that true mastery in any field comes not from adding skill, but from removing interference. The character for mind already exists in its perfect form. His job was simply to allow it to emerge without his ego distorting it. This is the seventh teaching. Your true nature expresses itself perfectly when you stop interfering with it. Your efforts to improve yourself often create tension that blocks your natural expression. Zen practice is not about becoming better, but about removing the obstacles to your original nature. When you stop trying so hard, your natural wisdom and compassion flow effortlessly. Many seekers misunderstand Zen, believing it requires escape from ordinary life. Nothing could be further from the truth. At the monastery, we spent hours each day in mundane tasks: cooking, cleaning, gardening, chopping wood. "Why do we spend so much time on chores?" I once asked Master Takeda. "Wouldn't more meditation bring faster enlightenment?" He handed me a broom. "This is not a chore," he said. "This is Zen. When sweeping, just sweep." I came to understand that Zen is not found in special experiences, but in the most ordinary activities, approached with extraordinary attention. The sacred and the mundane are not separate. This is the eighth teaching. Enlightenment is not an escape from everyday life, but a transformation of how you experience it. Your search for spiritual experiences separate from your daily life creates a false division. Zen dissolves this division. Washing dishes, answering emails, sitting in traffic. These are not obstacles to your practice. They are your practice. In my 15th year, Master Takeda introduced me to Kyudo, Zen archery. For months, I practiced drawing the bow without arrows. I thought this was merely preparation for real archery. I was wrong. The arrow is not the target, Master Takeda said. You are the target. He explained that Kyudo is not about hitting an external mark, but about revealing the archer's state of mind. Any tension, any grasping, any self-consciousness becomes visible in the shot. After a year of practice, I finally understood.
Kyudo was teaching me mushin, no mind. When the self disappears, the shot happens by itself. The archer, the bow, the arrow, and the target become one unified field of action. This is the ninth teaching. Action performed without a separate self is perfect action. Your belief in yourself as a separate doer creates hesitation, doubt, and fear. When this sense of separation dissolves, action flows naturally from circumstances, not from ego. This is the meaning of Wu Wei, non-doing, or effortless action. After 20 years of practice, I asked Master Takeda, what is the essence of Zen? He replied with a question. When you were a child, did you ever stand in a summer rain, face upturned, feeling the water on your skin? I nodded. That child, he said, needed no Zen. In that moment, I understood. Zen is not something exotic or mystical. It is a return to the direct, unfiltered experience of life that we knew as children, before concepts and conditioning separated us from reality. This is the final teaching. The path of Zen leads back to where you started, but with eyes that see the extraordinary in the ordinary. Your journey is not about reaching some distant goal, but about returning to your original nature, curious, open, fully alive in each moment. The child standing in the rain, completely absorbed in sensation, is the true Zen master. Now I sit as Master Takeda once sat, watching new students climb the 1,000 steps to the temple, seeking what they believe they lack. My teaching is simple. You are already complete. Your suffering comes from your search for completion. The practices I have shared, mindful attention, dropping concepts, entering difficulty, present moment awareness, unlearning, recognizing your true nature, non-interference, finding the sacred in the ordinary, and acting without a separate self. These are not steps to some future enlightenment. They are invitations to discover what has always been here. The door that I found at 16 still stands, weathered by rain and sun. It opens not to some special realm, but to this moment, exactly as it is. This ordinary moment, when experienced fully, reveals itself as extraordinary. This is the paradox and the promise of Zen. What you seek is where you stand. If these ancient teachings resonated with you, this is not coincidence but recognition. Your true nature is calling you home. Subscribe to continue this journey of awakening, and share this video with someone struggling to find peace in chaos. What teaching spoke most directly to your experience? Share your insight in the comments below. Your words may become the doorway another seeker needs.